Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into a really fascinating development in Springboks rugby. Seriously, it's got fans and analysts buzzing. Our mission today, to really unpack the strategy behind a key veterans return for the world champs, especially with some massive games on the horizon.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about Faf de Klerk getting recalled to the squad. Planet Rugby broke the news. And what's so interesting, I think, isn't just that a double World Cup winner is back. It's what it signals, about how they're approaching these, incredibly high-stakes matches. It feels like a real chess move.
Definitely a chess move. So, okay, let's get into why this scrum-half coming back is such a big deal, especially thinking about who they're up against. Can one guy, even Faf, really change things against, say, Eden Park? That's the big question, right? Before we jump in, though, if you love rugby and want this kind of deep dive analysis, make sure you hit subscribe on Rugby Obsession wherever you get your podcasts. That way you won't miss anything. Right, so let's unpack this. Just when we sort of thought the Springbok squad for the Rugby Championship was more or less set, bang, Faf de Klerk, a name basically synonymous with our last two World Cups. He's back in. It honestly caught me a bit off guard, I have to say.
Well, I definitely sent some ripples out, yeah. He's 33 now, the veteran scrum-half. And he's been recalled specifically as extra cover for that second leg, the New Zealand leg of the Rugby Championship. You'll remember he wasn't in the first squad for the Wallabies tests, was he? He was on a standby list. So bringing him in now bumps the squad up to 36 players. And like you said, it's not just filling a gap. It feels very calculated. A strategic move for these massive games shows they're thinking about every possible angle against, the best.
That's what's so interesting. Him being left out initially felt like, well, maybe a signal, giving newer guys a run, maybe managing his workload.
Yeah.
So what do you think this tells us about Rassie Erasmus' thinking now? Is it a change of plan? Or is Faf always maybe the ace up the sleeve for the really tough ones?
That's a great question. Look, leaving him out initially probably served a few purposes, right? It gave guys like Grant Williams, Morny Vandenberg, valuable time in the saddle, building that crucial depth, and maybe it gave Faf, who's playing over in Japan, a bit of a breather too, mentally and physically. But bringing him back now, that signals a clear shift. The focus is on immediate high-pressure results. It tells us that for the All Blacks games, especially away, they're putting a premium on experience, on proven combinations, on that sort of battle-hardened mindset. It's not panic, I don't think. It's more like recalibrating, knowing exactly what tools you need for this specific job.
Okay, so if that's the thinking, what does Faf being back actually mean for the backline dynamics? Especially with those All Blacks tests looming. It really sounds like Erasmus is pulling out all the stops.
Exactly. Having de Klerk means they now have, get this, 4 scrum halves in the touring party. You've got Grant Williams, Cobus Ryanek, Morne Vandenberg, and now Faf de Klerk. That speaks volumes about the depth and just the sheer range of options Rassie wants for these games. It's not just backup. It's about having different styles, different tactical approaches available, insurance, really, against anything unexpected when you're facing the All Blacks.
4 scrum halves. That's quite something for one position. And it happened around the time Bongi Mbonambi stayed back for family reasons, which sort of opened up the spot, technically. Yeah. But like you said, Faf's role feels very specific. It's that unique cover. How different are these 4 guys, really? What does that let them do tactically?
Well, they each bring something pretty distinct, which gives Erasmus amazing flexibility. Let's break it down quickly. Grant Williams, blistering pace, attacking threat, can really spark things. High tempo. Cobus Ryanek, he's more of a sniper around the ruck, maybe. Quick, opportunistic, great off the bench often. Morny Vandenberg, he's the exciting younger talent, lots of energy, crisp pass, still making his mark. And then there's Faf, the experienced hand, The tactical kicker dictates territory. That aggressive defense, he brings control. Big game composure, that's his value.
That's a great way to put it. Really different tools available. So tactically, what does that unlock? Is there any risk of, too many cooks? Or maybe confusing things by chopping and changing the 9?
I don't see it as a risk, honestly. I see it as a massive advantage, a luxury. It means Erasmus can literally pick his scrum half, not just for the opponent, but for, say, the game situation or the weather. You could start Williams, maybe use his speed early on, try and rattle the All Blacks. Then if things get tight or the ring comes down, you bring on Faf, part of the bomb squad maybe. To close it out, his control, his kicking game under pressure, invaluable. Think about needing an exit from your own 22 under huge pressure. Faf's box kick is usually spot on. Or if you need to stop an All Blacks attack building, his defense is ferocious. It just gives them so much flexibility. Insurance against injuries, yes, but also the ability to just switch gears mid-game. It suggests a very adaptable plan for New Zealand.
Yeah, it's like having that specialist closer in baseball, isn't it? The guy you trust when it absolutely matters. And beyond just the numbers and tactics, what really adds weight to this is Fourie du Preez chiming in. I mean, a legend, 2007 World Cup winner, saying he'd love to see Faf back. That's a serious endorsement.
Oh, absolutely. Du Preez's words carry huge weight. And he was careful, wasn't he? He praised Grant Williams too, acknowledged his great form, but then he zoned in on Faf's specific knowledge, what it takes to beat the All Blacks in New Zealand. That's a different beast. And crucially, he highlighted that great combination Faf has with Handre Pollard, reminding everyone, they started and won 2 World Cup finals together, 2019, 2023. That's not just skill, that's a partnership forged in the absolute highest pressure imaginable.
That de Klerk-Pollard partnership, it's practically dripping in success, isn't it? Faf's got 60 caps now, debuted back in 2016, playing in Japan currently. So let's focus on that great combination. What makes it work so well beyond just winning finals? Tactical communication, something else?
It's a mix, I think. A really potent blend. First, there's just that deep, almost unspoken understanding, trust. Built over years, they know what the other is going to do almost instinctively. Tactically, yeah, they're on the same page, especially with the Springboks kicking game. Faf's box kicks, setting up Pollard's clearances, or even shots at goal. They control tempo together, slow it down, speed it up. But maybe the biggest thing is just composure. Decision-making under insane pressure. Think about those finals. They were the calm heads steering the ship, making the right calls. And Faf's defensive work, often protects Pollard a bit too, lets Handre focus on pulling the strings. It's a proper tactical duo, a core part of that winning recipe being brought back together for the toughest test, their shared experience in those clutch moments. You just can't buy that. And speaking of value, if you're finding this valuable, remember to subscribe to Rugby Obsession. We do this kind of deep dive regularly.
A well-oiled machine is a great way to put it, tested under fire. And this recall gets even sharper focus when you look at the immediate schedule. It's the All Blacks at Eden Park this Saturday, September 6th. And that stat, the All Blacks haven't lost a test there since 1994. 1984. That's just mind-boggling. It's this mythical fortress. Every team knows it.
It's an incredible record, isn't it? It hangs over visiting teams, that nearly 30-year streak. It creates an aura, almost a psychological barrier before you even kick off. The noise, the history, the All Blacks' own belief there, it can be overwhelming. So many good teams have gone there confident and just sort of unraveled. And then after that huge clash, they head to Wellington for the second test at Sky Stadium on the 13th. So another tough away game straight after. But yeah, Eden Park, that's the big one. That's Everest.
An incredible statistic, a true fortress where reputations are made or, well, tested severely. So the big question then, how much does Faf's experience, that Pollard partnership, how much does that really weigh against that, what is it, an 88-year Springbok winless run there? Is it just about being calm, or is it something specific tactically he brings to that challenge?
I think it's both. Absolutely both. And that's why the recall feels so targeted. It isn't just about Faf's skills, it's about his temperament, his record in huge games under that specific kind of pressure against this opposition. He brings that bit of niggle, doesn't he? That defiant edge that can get under opponents' skin. Vital against a team like the All Blacks who thrive on momentum. His kicking game is key. Relieving pressure, pinning them back, turning them around, not letting them run riot. That clean service to Pollard means penalty chances become genuine threats, even from deep, but maybe more than anything tangible. It's the psychological boost he provides to his own team. His presence, that shared history with Pollard, it's a massive statement of intent. We're bringing everything we've got for this. It's about bringing someone in who knows the mental battle as much as the physical one needed to potentially break that kind of streak.
That makes total sense. It really feels like Rassie's deploying a specific weapon for a specific target, Eden Park. It's not just adding depth, it's injecting proven experience, a winning combination, and that deep understanding of how to win in the absolute toughest arenas.
Exactly. It just highlights that meticulous Springbok planning, leveraging every single advantage they can for these massive Rugby Championship games. It really underlines that belief that sometimes, in the biggest moments, you rely on those established, battle-tested partnerships. You take the unknown, which is trying to win at Eden Park, and you counter it with known quantities, proven winners. It shows huge trust to those guys.
So it leaves a big question for you, our listener. Thinking about this, how might having 4 scrum halves, especially with Faf and Pollard reunited, actually reshape the Springboks' tactics, particularly for that assault on Eden Park? What specific changes might we see? We'd genuinely love to hear your predictions on this one. Don't forget to subscribe to Rugby Obsession and definitely share your thoughts on this. Your input really does fuel these deep dives. Thank you so much for listening to this Rugby Obsession deep dive. We'll look forward to you joining us for the next episode.